let's talk about Payday 3, one of the most engaging and memorable video games I have ever played.
Everything feels so much more touched up, more fun to do, more interesting.
All the components that make Payday the franchise it is come together bigger and better than ever before.
Well, why is the game bad now, guys? Well, what happened? Did it turn bad over time? I don't think so. You liked it, you loved it. You would play to death, if I recall. Well, what happened?
You want to know what happened? Starbreeze happened. Hi, it's me, Bad Microphone Man. As you may know, Payday 3's launch was a disaster. Can't play online, can't play offline, negative reviews, blah blah blah, you know the rest, you've watched the Noli already. To make up for this, in their infinite generosity, Starbreeze has provided us with a list of reasons as for why Payday 3 is always online. It would be a shame if none of these reasons were true, right? It would be a shame if Starbreeze was, I don't know, lying or something, Anyway, let's read the first paragraph.
When looking at what worked and what didn't with Payday 2, we wanted to find a way to both avoid negative aspects like rampant cheating and add capabilities for the game to be more engaging and rewarding for our player base.
What a bunch of baloney.
Now I don't know what Starbreeze exactly means by cheating, so I decided I would try a little bit of everything. Oh yeah, ready? And so the first method of cheating I know of is to modify the game to give yourself an insane advantage. Homer Simpson
Once said, it's always with the best intentions that the worst work is done. Here we have ammo fun, a skill that auto-loads bullets into your gun.
As you can see, even with other players on official servers, it just works. If I want to give myself 5 times damage, 5 times penetration, no recoil, no spread, instant lockpick, what else is there? Oh yeah, instant melee, I can, and Starbreeze Nebula has nothing to say about it. Oh yeah, an instant reload too. Yes, that was a reload. You do agree that this is cheating, right? I mean, I am turning basically any pea shooter into a weapon of mass destruction. I'm doing it online on public official servers, no less. I have bottomless magazines, I can shoot through buildings. I can turn into a car. No, you can't do that, you can't cheat, that's it. Yes, I can, and there's absolutely nothing to stop me. I have been cheating for an entire month, and I haven't had any trouble. No warning, no kick, no ban, nothing. So when the first reason that is given to me by this company for why the game is always online is that it's to prevent rampant cheating, I can't help but ask, is this a joke? How would that even work? Nebula is not a kernel-level anti-cheat. It's a glorified cloud saving system. It's in charge of matchmaking and player data, that's it. How is that going to prevent me from installing mods on my computer? That doesn't make any sense. And so the conclusion is very simple. If all of these cheats work online, it's probably because preventing rampant cheating is not one of the reasons why Payday 3 is always online. What is this shit? Where I'm not seeing people with every skill unlocked or spawning bags or with gun mode or flying like in Payday 2. Okay, first of all, here's a method to unlock all of the skills. Censored, obviously, because I don't want you to cheat at such a lame game. But also, seriously, man? How can cheaters exist if I don't see them? Yeah, okay, buddy. You got me. Not every cheat in Payday 3 works online. That is true. But the explanation for that has nothing to do with always online and can actually be found all the way back in Payday 2. Let's take for example a no detection mod that basically gives you invisibility.
I got a key card here.
Invisibility works in solo mode, but not in multiplayer. That is because detection is a gameplay element that is managed by the server, by the host. When you are playing in solo mode, you're the server, you're the host. You make the rules, and you decide how detection works. And so as you can see, with a very simple mod, I am able to render everyone basically blind. But only in solo mode. When I go and play on a server that isn't mine, suddenly the cheat doesn't work, because I am no longer the host. This has absolutely nothing to do with the game being always online. This was already the case in Payday 2, a game that isn't always online. If you install a no detection cheat and you join somebody else's lobby, you will not be invisible. It's not because of some anti-cheat or because of always online, it's literally just because sometimes some things in the game are managed by the server and not by the client. Again, that was already a thing in Payday 2, a game that isn't always online. So when Starbreeze claims that Payday 3 is always online in order to prevent rampant cheating, and yet I was somehow able to cheat by using mods from 2023 on official servers in public lobbies without any difficulty whatsoever, and then I remember that they've been saying it since Christmas 2023, I don't know if I should feel insulted, scammed, betrayed, or this.
What a fine person who would never lie to a fellow gamer.
Did you rage quit on me?
No! I will keep my cool, I will not insult anybody. Maybe they just made a little mistake. You know, it happens to everybody, no one is perfect. Let's look at the second reason. Maybe this one will be correct. According to the FAQ, Always Online should help Starbreeze deliver Payday 3 to the consoles. Okay, that's cool, I can get behind that. Payday 3 does have some respect for its console players, thanks to a new addition to the Payday series, cross-platform matchmaking. Thanks to Starbreeze Nebula, PS5, Xbox, Epic Games, and Steam players can all play together on the same servers. This is a great thing, and this is all thanks to Starbreeze Nebula. There's just one tiny little problem. This does not explain why the game is always online. Because if you look at Crime Boss Rocky City, it's not a game that is always online. If you do not have an online connection, you can still play offline. And even without this online requirement, Crime Boss Rocky City has cross-platform matchmaking. Look at me, I'm playing with people on PS5, on Epic Games. Hell, I'm stealthing with Red Archer Live. Who I think is on Xbox? Wow! This game has cross-platform matchmaking and yet it also works offline? How does that work? Okay, so to make cross-platform matchmaking, you need the same version of the game for every player on every platform, and a matchmaking system. First you send the same version of the game to every player on every platform, and then you connect every player from every platform with one matchmaking system. That's it, that's all you need to have cross-platform matchmaking. That's how Crime Boss does it, and that's how Payday 3 does it. That's it. And you will notice that I do not mention Always Online anywhere in this explanation, because a game does not have to be always online to have cross-platform matchmaking with PC and console players all playing together. So when Starbreeze claims on their official website that Payday 3 does not work offline because of console players, not only is that pretty scummy, but it's also not true, and we have proof of that. If Crimbo can do it, why not Payday 3? Which means this is another bogus explanation from Starbreeze. That's already the second one. What next? They're gonna blame leaderboards? You know that thing that we had in Payday the Heist and Payday 2? Those two games that were not always online, and that... Oh, they did. Okay, so Starbreeze does claim that leaderboards are one of the reasons why Payday 3 does not work offline. Leaderboards which were present in Payday the Heist and Payday 2, games that worked offline. Wow, what a surprise, this reason doesn't make sense either. It's almost as if Starbreeze was saying things that are not true. What is the verb for this? You know, we've been looking at this FAQ page for a few minutes now, and it doesn't even explain what it means for Payday 3 to be always online. What is such a critical component of this game that the other games didn't have that prevents it from working offline? The FAQ doesn't say it, so I guess I will. Can't believe I have to do everything myself. In the time before time, video games gained the ability to track the progression of a player in the form of a save file. This allows games such as Pikuniku, Payday 2 or Futa Fix Dig Dine and Dash to track and save your progress without requiring some kind of online connection. You can play these games offline because they save your data, your progress, locally on your machine. Since your data is saved locally on your machine, it is accessible offline. But Payday 3 doesn't do that. It's not programmed to save your progress locally. Instead, your data is saved on a server far, far away. Because of this, to access your player data, Payday 3 must always have a connection to Starbreeze Nebula, the online service that is in charge of your save file. Your guns, your masks, your outfits, your XP, your money, everything that you own in Payday 3, all of your player data, is handled by Starbreeze Nebula and saved on an online server. And only on that online server, not on your computer. If you do not have an online connection to connect to Nebula, you don't have access to your player data. And if you don't have access to your player data, you can't play. This is exactly why solo mode does not work offline. Even in solo mode, you need Starbreeze Nebula to take your data and then load it into the heist. Well, at least that is what it's supposed to do.
Nuclear, is the heist we're playing today you robbing us of our time? Because I am stuck on this getting ready screen for I don't know how long.
And even after that, once you have loaded into your heist, even in solo mode, you need to keep your online connection to Starbreeze Nebula to keep access to your player data, to your heister that you're playing right now. And so even in solo mode, if you lose your internet connection, this happens.
You are now under arrest.
However, solo mode would work offline if Payday 3 was able to save locally offline like a normal video game. So yeah, that is the technical quirk that makes Payday 3 always online. It's not because of the cheaters, the console players, or the orphans, it's because your save file is only saved online and not offline. A game that cannot read and save its player data offline cannot work offline. And so there's no offline mode. This is information that should be written in the FAQ about why the game is always online, but for some reason Starbreeze didn't. And I don't know why. I guess it was easier for them to lie about it. Anyway, back to the bad excuses, with another method of cheating that always online should be preventing. This is the last one, I promise.
メソドナンバ2ハッキング
What, you're gonna hack into the Starbreeze servers now?
No, I'm not going to do that, because the hackers have been doing it since day one. All I have to do is go to Reddit. Hey Starbreeze, what are those? These outfits were present in the game files of Payday 3 since day one. They were not available legitimately to legitimate players, but they were always available for the hackers. Eventually, Starbreeze did make them available to the public, but before that, they were not supposed to be in circulation. And yet they were. That is because some players have figured out that they could create their own online requests and send them directly to Starbreeze Nebula. In other words, Starbreeze's servers are being hacked by teenagers. So they can basically request any item they want, be it an unreleased gun, outfit or mask, but also any amount of XP, money and C-stacks. It's not even a rare occurrence to see someone who has hacked in items they shouldn't have, like the Mask Mania masks, and apparently there's nothing to prevent them from doing it because they are still doing it in 2025 with, for example, this Twitch drop, which is still not available to regular players. Hi, quick correction, as of September 2025, this mask is now available to the public as a Twitch drop. Which means this hacker has been wearing this ugly mask a whole 5 months before it was released. Nice. What a safe and secure system. So no, Always Online does not prevent any kind of cheating whatsoever. It doesn't prevent in-game cheating, it doesn't prevent save file hacking, it's not necessary for crossplay, leaderboards or Twitch drops or anything, really. So what's the point? Why did Starbreeze make Payday 3 always online? And if the answer is not here, where is it? But that's okay, we don't need no corporate approved misinformation, because some players did find one good reason for Payday 3 to be always online back in 2023.
Cash money, baby.
That's right, a premium item store would be a perfectly valid reason for Payday 3 to be always online. And also the only one so far. And you might be thinking, yeah, but there's no item store in Payday 3. And you would be correct! Or would you? What if I told you that Payday 3 was always meant to have an item store in which you would spend real money on virtual items? Well, guess what? It's true. And I swear this is not a tangent, this is relevant to Always Online. I promise. And this is not speculation or a conspiracy theory, by the way. It's real, and we've had all of this information since 2023. Because in 2023 leaked Payday credits, a premium currency that you were expected to purchase with real money. Starbreeze has confirmed the existence of this microtransaction currency thing here. Ta-da! Payday credits! Oh, and it would be exchanged for cosmetic items! Ooh. And look, the ability to purchase virtual items with real money is mentioned in the EULA, the legally binding rules of using the game. Why has this been here since the launch of the game?
I'm sure that was by accident.
Now, where have we found premium items before? Oh! That's right, the hackers have been wearing them since day one! And even if Starbreeze had not confirmed their existence, they are in the game files. Hey, look at this one, you were expected to pay 1,000 Payday credits for a mask. So yeah, we have a currency, we have items to buy, it's a store, it's an item store. Payday 3 was indeed going to have an item store, and random players have discovered this in 2023. And of course I know there's
Very intelligent people.
who will say, no, it's not true, it's a conspiracy theory. And when they see all of the evidence, they go, this must be a coincidence.
Yeah, it's a coincidence.
But that doesn't matter. What matters is Payday 3 was indeed going to have an item store, but how does an item store make a video game always online? Well, you see, this discovery from 2023 actually answers 3 questions that Starbreeze doesn't. First, it explains why Starbreeze wanted to make the game always online to begin with. You see, when a video game company wants to sell you online crap in an item store for real money, they want to make sure that the players will not get the paid items for free. To do that, they keep the players' data away from the players on a server far, far away. If this data was saved locally on the player's computer, it could easily be manipulated by players who want infinite paid currency or all of the paid items for free. And the companies don't want that. This is why Assassin's Creed Shadows, a single-player game, is always online. Why do you think it's like that? Is it to improve the player experience? Pfft, no! It's to sell you online crap at exorbitant prices. Thanks, Always Online. And of course, if you keep the players' data away from the players online, the players cannot play offline. And so there's no offline mode. Wow, that's already 2 major community issues explained. Thanks, Item Store. Only one more. So why is it taking so long for Starbreeze to release this offline mode that they have promised in 2024? What could possibly be taking so long? I don't know, maybe it's because they have to make a brand new inventory system? One that doesn't depend on an online service? Customizing a gun, buying a new mask or a new outfit, equipping a new gun, a mask or an outfit, everything that you do in the inventory is an online request. So to make Payday 3 work offline, Starbreeze would have to make a new inventory system that doesn't depend on Starbreeze Nebula, that works locally offline on your machine. Not only that, but they also need to make sure that the new system works and that it doesn't break when it finally hits the shelves. Starbreeze does not want its players to lose 2 years of progress because of a stupid bug in the new system, just for a free update that will not make them any money. So all this testing, all this QA is going to take a little more than a few weeks. And of course this is a studio that has been hit with lower investment levels, as that guy said. So the team that is already squeezed and spread thin, trying to make this game profitable, is now being tasked to make a brand new inventory system that is still compatible with existing save files. So yeah, I think it's understandable why offline mode is taking so long. However, what I don't understand is why Starbreeze cannot be honest with its players. They claim they want to be transparent, but here they are making shit up, inventing reasons to defend always online, reasons that don't apply. I mean, seriously, preventing cheating? Have you seen my footage? Have you seen the kids hacking into the game and giving themselves all of the items? Committing to the console community? Look at Crime Boss, it's doing it just fine and it also works offline. And leaderboards? Really? No, none of these things justify the game being always online. But do you know what does? An item store, with a premium currency, and an online wallet with online transactions. That is why Payday 3 is always online, and that does not appear on the list anywhere. Not so transparent, are we, Starbreeze? So how's that going? Trying to gaslight the players into thinking that always online is somehow a good thing for the past 2 years? Is that working? No. In fact, being able to play offline is one of the most requested features for this game. So I don't know what the point of this pile of feces is, but stop. It's not working, Starbreeze. Just say the truth now. With all of these elements on the table, I think it's fair to conclude that no, Payday 3 is not always online for the benefit of the players, but rather for the integration of a stupid item store.
Yeah, speaking of the item store, where is it? Why is it canceled? What happened? Why is it gone? Why is it canceled? What happened? Why is it canceled? What happened? Why?
Yeah, that's a good question. I keep telling you, oh, it's the item store, brrr. But the item store never saw the light of day. What happened? After all of this work, why cancel the store? The answer is simple. Starbreeze could not come up with an online inventory system that is secure. Instead, they came up with the one that we have today. That was hacked into immediately after release. Yup, that thing was supposed to power the item store. So had Starbreeze gone through with their plan of having an item store, the hackers would have hacked into it day one and would have unlocked all of the paid items for free. And we know this would have happened because it happened already. That would have been another humiliation for Starbreeze because they would have proven to the world that they are truly incapable of doing anything correctly. People would have dunked on the game and on the company even harder than ever before, while the press outlets and the brand affiliates would have feasted on it like the vultures that they are.
Payday 3 item store gets hacked. It's not great.
That would have been a complete disaster for Starbreeze, an even bigger disaster than the one that we had for launch without the item store. Because on top of being seen as a studio that is incapable of delivering a fun sequel to Payday 2 that works, they would also have been cemented as a company that is too stupid to charge their players for paid items. Yeah, I think I understand why they gave up on it. Can you imagine just how everyone would be clowning on them? Even more than they currently are today?
This is the cardinal sin of Payday 3. They made it to be a live service game and they did everything wrong. They didn't even get the shop right. The fucking shop.
Yeah.
It is unreal to me.
And what even is the point of having an item store when you have Payday at your fingertips? If Starbreeze wanted to sell additional cosmetic items to Payday players in a Payday game, all they had to do was put them in a DLC. In fact, selling DLC for Payday 2 is the one and only profitable thing that Starbreeze has been doing for the past decade. It's not because of Red World War II, Overkill's The Walking Dead, or Payday Crime War, if they have remained out of bankruptcy for so long. It's thanks to selling Payday 2 DLC, a business plan that has worked for a whole 10 years. Not only was it successful financially, but it was also pretty well received critically with the players.
What about the H3H3 pack?
We don't talk about that one. Anyway, when you have Payday at your fingertips, the game series that sells DLC and sells it well, what do you need premium currency for? It is a completely stupid business strategy. It is completely redundant and has been redundant since 2012, since the first DLC for Payday. All they had to do to sell costumes and masks was put them in a tailor pack. They did not need to make the game always online and to do that.
So you're saying it's...
Buddy.
Yeah, it is profoundly...
Buddy.
Because not only are Payday credits useless, but also because they are a terrible idea financially. Remember, premium currency requires a game to be always online, which means it will require servers. Here's the problem. When you've narrowly avoided bankruptcy a few years prior, you should not be risking yourself into depending on servers, because what happens when you depend on servers but cannot afford them is self-destruction. You either do or do not have enough server capacity to run an online game. There is no in-between. And so as a result, their online service was crap, and it's still crap to this day. All of this because they wanted to sell masks and costumes, but not through DLC for some reason.
What could possibly go wrong?
Okay, buddy. Okay, one more thing. You see, I lied. The item store was not cancelled before launch, it was simply delayed. They said in the official FAQ that Payday credits would come out after release, even though the items were already in the game before the release, but whatever. Okay, after release. When? When do you think it will be a good year to release this completely useless and unsecure feature? No, please, Starbreeze, tell us! I'm all ears. I want to know when. Oh wait, never mind. Now they're saying they don't know when and they have no plan to release it. They made the game unplayable offline for it, they ruined its launch, its reputation, its revenue for it, they invented all of these stupid excuses to cover up for it, and now they don't have further plans to release it. They have no further plans to release the one and only legitimate reason as for why Payday 3 is always online. All of the suffering, all of the disappointment, the PR nightmare, the layoffs, all of the people who have paid for this game $40, $60, $90, sometimes even more, and who have been struggling to play it because of network errors, nebula errors, matchmaking errors, unknown errors. All of this could have been avoided if it wasn't for this stupid item store and its stupid Payday coins, and now it's not even coming out. Which means this entire time, Payday 3 has been always online for the past 2 years for nothing!
Just keep eating the fucking comment, Starbreeze!
So yeah, that's what Payday 3's always online requirements truly is. A complete waste of time and money for everyone, and a bunch of lies. It's useless because it's of no use to you, to me, or to Starbreeze. It is stupid because again, DLC was right here, man, you didn't have to rent all of those servers. And it's a disaster because it is one of the main reasons as for why Payday 3 was such a flop. Despite every effort from this company to try and gaslight the players into believing that it's a good thing, no, it's really not. It's just a bunch of complications for no good reason. They still make this game difficult to play to this day, 2 years later.
Merde.
And hopefully the offline mode update will get rid of all of that shit. Finally, we will be able to play Payday 3 without all of those disconnections, interruptions, all of those stupid errors. Yay! I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a great thing, but at the end of the day, it's still going to be Payday 3. The same boring slop made by the same studio. You know, the studio that has been incapable of delivering fun heists, fun enemies, fun skills. It took them 2 years to release an armor that goes back up, 2 years to add a bag-secured pop-up, which is insane for a game about securing bags, and they made First World Bank, the first heist of Payday, look like a colonoscopy. No, seriously, why is it so brown? And there it is, the prostate. And I could go on all day. There is so much stupid stuff about Payday 3 that is completely unrelated to the servers, and that Starbreeze hasn't been able to address for the past 2 years. 2 years, and the gameplay of the game has not significantly improved. So when I read on the internet that,
Oh, the game is so much better now, you should play it.
I don't get it. I've played the DLC heists, and I'm unimpressed. They have nothing cool or interesting or original happening in them. Despite the price tag and the continued shilling and glazing, they're not much better than what we had at launch. And the only improvements done to the enemies since this video is that the snipers snipe.
Sniper spotted!
Wow. Oh, and also 3 bulldozers will spawn at once on overkill, which is completely useless because the bulldozer sucks. All he does is give me free armor repair kits to put with my 15 others. Wow. I just don't believe they have what it takes to make a good game, let alone a good Payday game. So even if offline mode is great news, it's still Payday 3, the same game made by the same studio that doesn't know how to make a fun game. But hey, that's okay, because Starbreeze just got a new CEO. His name is Adolf Christensen. Yay! Maybe he is the great leader that Starbreeze needs to make Payday great again.
Wait, his name is Adolf?
Adolfo.
No, VTuber-chan, not this Adolf. Maybe he knows how to make it good or something, I don't know. And hey, look at all those beautiful paintings that he's made. Wow, what a good artist. He will be right at home with Under the Surface and—
Hey, did you know he's a former EA executive?
Oh. Okay, never mind, Payday 3's fun.
Mother of God, it's all toilet sounds. Where did you record this?
Gustavo really cooked with that one. It's a banger.
Let me tell you, Bobby, there's nothing about these sounds.